Hello, welcome back. Fourth episode. I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter. This one I'm going to talk about the reasons why in the past and potentially in the future I've wanted to amputate my feet. It's a contentious subject, especially when you look well, especially people you don't really know if ever they find out that that's what you're planning. And it's not like I talk about it often, but sometimes people find out. They kind of lose their mind about it. They don't understand the pain that you're in. They don't understand the situations you've been in. And still, even people who have been close to it, that's something that's very difficult for them to get their head around too. So yeah, the first episode was a little bit about my backstory, how I ended up here. Next one was the operations that I've had, the diagnosis that I've had and then haven't been correct. And then third episode was all about the functional medicine program that I'm doing, which I do believe I'm firmly on the right track with. So hopefully, and this is why I have currently no plans to amputate. Hopefully that is the answer for me. What I'd like to do is I'd like to read a blog post from 2008, which I can credit back to Mary Hammonds, hopefully that is correct, that compares having a disability to having a gorilla in your house. It's something that I posted a couple of years ago when I left a job due to disability discrimination. They made my life hell after a huge operation and felt like they purposely went out of the way as much as they possibly could to make things harder for me. But anyway, this is a brilliant piece, and I think it, without explicitly answering any of the questions that you might have, I think it goes a long way to explaining why people never want to give up on getting better, and why people will do drastic things to do so. Acquiring a disability is a bit like getting home to find there's a gorilla in your house. You contact the approved and official channels to get rid of infestations of wild animals, in this case the NHS or your health system. They and they are, and they suck air in through the teeth, and then what they say is, what you got here, mate, is a gorilla, and there ain't really a lot we can do about them, you see, before they send you back home to the gorilla's waiting arms. The gorilla in your house will cause problems in every part of your life. Your spouse may decide that he or she can't deal with the gorilla and leave. Your boss may get upset that you've brought the gorilla to work with you and it's disrupting your colleagues, who also don't know how to deal with gorillas. You're arriving for work wearing a suit that the gorilla has slept on. Some days you don't turn up at all because at the last minute the gorilla has decided to barricade you into the bathroom or to sit on you so you can't get out of bed. Your friends will get cheesed off because when you see them, which isn't often, because they don't want to come to your house for fear of the gorilla, and the gorilla won't always let you out. Your only topic of conversation is this darn gorilla and the devastation that it's causing. There are three major approaches to gorillas in your house. One is to ignore it and hope that it goes away, which is unlikely to work. A 300-pound gorilla will sleep where he likes, and if that's on top of you, it will have an effect on you. Another is to try and force the gorilla out, wrestling with it constantly, spending all your time fighting it. This is often a losing battle. Some choose to give all the money to people who will come and wave crystals at the gorilla from a safe distance, of course. This also tends to be a losing battle. However, every so often, 1 in 100 gorillas will get bored and they'll wander off. The crystal wavers and the gorilla wrestlers will claim victory, and they'll tell the media that it's a massive breakthrough in gorilla control, and that the 99 other gorilla wrestlers just aren't doing it right due to sloppy thinking or lack of commitment. The 99 other gorilla wrestlers won't have the time or energy to argue. I've known people spend the best years of their life and tens of thousands of pounds trying to force the gorillas to go away. The tragedy is, even if it does wander off for a while, they won't get their pre-gorilla lives back. They'll be older, skint, exhausted, and constantly afraid that the gorilla might come back. The third way to deal with the gorilla in your house is to accept it, tame it, and make it part of your life. Figure out a way to calm your gorilla down. Teach it how to sit still until you're able to take it places with you without it making a scene. Negotiate with your boss about ways to accommodate or even make use of your gorilla. Find out how to equip your home with gorilla-friendly furnishings and appliances. Meet other people who live with gorillas and enjoy having something in common and share gorilla taming tips. People get really upset about this and throw around accusations of giving up and not even trying. They even suggest that you enjoy having a gorilla around because of the attention it gets you, while ignoring the massive pile of steaming gorilla turds in your bedroom every morning and night, and not to mention your weekly bill for bananas. The best way to deal with these people is to smile and remind yourself that one day they too will have a gorilla in their house. I had to record that bit about 5 times because it chokes me up every time. But I think it gives a good insight into a lot of what you don't realise goes on behind the scenes. It's not just the pain, it's all the baggage that goes with it, all the relationships that it ruins, all of the dreams that it kills, all the fires inside you that it puts out. So part of the reason why I will still consider amputation, even if I don't think it's the right answer, even though there's a chance that I will still get the phantom limb pain, and hopefully I will never get to this point now, because hopefully functional medicine is the right path for me. But I won't accept my life being controlled by this gorilla from 60 until the day that I die. And some people say, well, these medical advancements are great. Well, can't you just keep waiting, keep waiting? I've already lost the best part of 10 years of my life. And I also don't have a proper diagnosis. No one's studying for my condition to then give me a call one morning and say, oh great, we've made a breakthrough. So it comes to fault versus responsibility, I think, which is how I like to approach most of my life. It's not my fault that I got in this position. It's not my fault that I can't do anything about it, or let me rephrase. It's not my fault that the doctors don't know what it is. It's not my fault that despite all of my efforts and all of the doctors' efforts, no one's been able to crack a whip at it. It is my responsibility though. It was something I've been dealt with through probable choices that I made as a teenager that put me in this position. And it's my responsibility to fix it. No one else is going to do that for you. Nobody cares more than me about me and my condition. Nobody has to wake up every morning and face this pain or worry about what situations they're going to get themselves in that day that's going to leave them in an unimaginable amount of pain. And having to plan every day in 10-minute increments to be like, well, if I stand for more than 10 minutes when I go here, where is my next seat? When am I going to sit down? How long am I going to be stood for then? What sort of pain am I going to be in? I'm going to be no company to the people that I'm with if I'm stood up for ages, and then all I can think about is this pain, and all I can feel is this pain getting worse. And it just drives you insane. So that, along with all of the mental baggage that I hope was explained in that gorilla piece, is a large reason why I'll never give up. And yes, I will always consider amputation. And it's difficult for people who know you to get their head around it, especially when some doctors have said, well, you can still walk, can't you? You can still stand, can't you? You haven't limped in here like a zombie. One of them did actually say like a zombie. So although people don't understand it and people question you, you got to do what's right for you. And if that is to never give up on getting better, and if that's to not accept this gorilla destroying your life for me it's from 16 and there's previously been no signs of it slowing down, it will literally be for the rest of my life. It's that against the possibility to get better. And for me, if there's a chance, not necessarily no matter how small it is, but even if it's very small, I will take that chance to try and get better. I know that the risk is that I haven't got a diagnosis, so I might well still have the same pain a foot off the end of my leg when it doesn't exist. And some people also say, well, how can you possibly want to get rid of your own limb? I've got no attachment to my limb. I wake up every day and it just gives me grief. It makes my life hell. The only attachment I've got is wanting to get shut of it. If I want to replace that for a perfectly good carbon fibre leg, then I've got no attachment to it. I do get the whole you are mutilating your body thing, but it doesn't come anywhere close to that for me. It's a choice between this, on one side, you're never going to get better. You accept it, you live with it. You give up on your dreams, all of the things that I mentioned before. That's on one side, you deal with this gorilla forever. Or you take a chance that things could get a bit worse. You could still have the same pain. You could have a different pain. You could potentially have worse pain. Or you could get better. You could do all those things that you wanted to do. You can go travel the world, be who you want to be, achieve all the things you wanted to achieve. You can go and help people who've been in this situation. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's risky. But I will probably always take that risk. This was a bit of an impromptu video. All the other ones I've kind of planned what I wanted to say. This one I kind of just spoke from the heart. What I will do is I'll link to Footless Joe's video. She is an account that I watched when I was seriously starting to consider amputation. She documented her journey from the decision through the surgery through to years after. Well, it's probably about 5 years since she had her operation. And she explained her decision better than I ever could. So maybe I should just link for the technical side of things of why she chose to amputate, which completely 100% resonated with me. Maybe I should link off to her video and she'll do it justice. I hope this one's been much shorter. Sorry it's not being very light-hearted, but it's a question I get asked a lot.